Hey, friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Legacy Boss podcast. I'm your host, Shauna Klein. Have you ever decided you were going to do something and then things didn't work out the way you thought, or maybe it didn't come together, your product didn't come together, the timing didn't come together, something didn't come together when you needed it to, and you knew in the back of your mind that putting out this launch or this product wasn't going to have the best audience, wasn't going to have the best amount of sales, whatever that looks like. Have you been there? Well, let me just tell you, this podcast is going to be a little bit more on the personal side of oops. And me sharing with you a very intimate look into one of our businesses. And when things don't go right, what do you do? So let's get into it. So many times we have this expectation on ourselves of creating a new product line or whatever that looks like. And we have this pressure on us and we're going to have this deadline to get to. And sometimes things just don't always fall into place the way that you think they should. And so this exact scenario happened to me recently. Thus, the very transparent podcast today. And hey, I told you from the very beginning that when we worked through business struggles, that I would be very honest, transparent about how that looked, what happened, and how it turned out. So here's the story. So recently I did my first back virtual workshop. So prior to 2020, was traveling, doing them. Then 2020 hit, we started moving them to virtual. And then once everything started to open back up, I started opening those back up in person. And just with logistics and travel and all of the things, it just has made it more difficult to do in person. Plus, people getting travel has been super expensive and difficult, especially if you have families or you're a mom, you've got kids, and you've got different, a lot of product bosses are still working a 9 to 5 or part-time. And so, doing them on the weekends and making sure that everything gets there. And it's just a lot more difficult. So 2023, part of the vision of what we were going to do to move forward was going to be offering virtual workshops. So people had the opportunity that may not be able to travel to be part of it. So the first one was going to be launched in February. And with all of those things came getting everything together. We were going to be doing a lot of deep dives on the content that I normally teach, but going much deeper. So there were going to be 2-hour workshops. And if you want to get some more information about the workshops, you can head over to legacy-boss.com and that we have them posted. So we're working on those things. Plus we have product-based business that's thriving and is doing really well and busy with that. A lot of changes going on the first quarter of this year, lots of new things coming out. And I had this great relaunch of our social media done for you for product-based businesses called The Social Creative. And all intents and purposes, we were launching it and we were going to get it out by March 1st. And it didn't happen. It didn't all come together like that. I mean, most of the product was completed and we were offering it as a gift to our people that attended the workshop in February, and everything was going great until it came to the community part of our product. So this is to help product-based businesses be successful online. This is to help product-based bosses feel like they have support in their corner on how to grow their business with visibility on social media. And part of that, and a big part of that, was intended to have a community wrapped around that. And when we had, about 2 years ago, the Social Creative came out initially, and we played around with it for a few months, and there were some things lacking and there's some things that needed to be changed. And so I just felt like it was a good time to pull back on do that. And we've just been thinking, strategizing, how do we want to show up and serve for our community? How do we want to show up and do all of the things that we feel that you all deserve? And so we've just kind of had it on ice for a little bit. And it's okay sometimes to just pull back, take a breather, and be like, what do we really want to do with this? So we were relaunching it going to be having it relaunched at the beginning of March, and it just wasn't going to hit that deadline. And so I just was up one night, late, laying in bed, I'm sure as some of you guys do, thinking about all the things that need to do. I just could not sleep, literally laying it's 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, I need to go back to sleep. And I can't because it's on my mind. And this is how a visionary's mind works. If in case you ever wanted to know, it never shuts off. And my husband's always kind of like, turn your brain off. And I was like, yeah, that's not a thing. So I'm laying there thinking about showing up and serving. And it does, guys. I think about the impact on your businesses and what value we're bringing and what we have to offer all the time. Like, this is not just a, hey, let's throw something out there. Let's throw something against the wall and hope it sticks just so we can make some money. This is not what this is about. This is about long-term growth, how that we can best serve you and your business and what you're wanting to create. I mean, Legacy Boss, the whole name behind it is to help businesses create a business that has a legacy now and in the future. We're not just waiting till like 40 years from now, like you're ready to, pass on the baton or pass away or whatever that looks like, to say that it was a legacy that you left for yourself and your family. I mean, this is what keeps me up at night, is finding out ways and strategies and how to best help. So anyways, laying there going, this is not my best yes. This is not Shauna's best yes for how to show up and serve by putting something together and it being good, but it not being, wow, this is excellent. And so we decided to pump the brakes. And I knew that we had already made an announcement to our community, like, hey, there's something new coming out. This is exciting. We're so excited to debut this to you all. And then it didn't work out that way. And I had to come to grips with, sometimes our launches go really great and it all works out and it all goes according to plan. And then sometimes it doesn't. It just falls apart. And it's okay to pump the brakes and say, we can just push this out there. We can push out this new product line. We can push out this new fragrance oil candle. We can push out these new earrings designs. Whatever your product is, we can push that out there. But is this showing up as the best, or would it be good to pump the brakes and be honest with everyone? Say, hey guys, due to manufacturing or scheduling or whatever the conflict is, we want to make sure that we're putting our best out, and this is not necessarily what we wanted to debut to you. So we're going to back up and we're going to relaunch next week, or we're going to launch this next week, or we're going to promote this next week. Whatever that is, the transparency in while you're doing it elevates you as not just throwing something out there. And I know a lot of people are like, but why would I want to tell people this? Because it's okay. It's better to put something out there that wows people than just something that people are going to pass by and go, it's okay. It's just okay. And so I just want to challenge you today, wherever you're at in your business, whether you're just starting out, you're building, or you're like, hey, we're moving to the next level. When you are putting a product out, or you are launching a new product, or you are creating something that's different, maybe that's outside of your comfort zone or outside of what you normally do, realize that getting it right is not only better for you in your mindset, in your state of the way that you view it. Because, we know if we're putting out our best. We know. And we're going to promote the heck out of it if it is. But also know that if it isn't, it is okay to just stop, take a deep breath, and say, what do I need to add to this to make it my very best? And if it's not something your heart's in and you're just pumping out something because it's the expectation, ask yourself this question: is this my best yes? Not somebody else's best yes, not somebody else's best creation, but is this my best yes for what falls in line with my goal, vision, the trajectory of my business? Does this fit inside of it? And if it doesn't, give yourself the freedom and the understanding that it is okay to pump the brakes and say, we're going to go back to the drawing board, or we're going to hold this for a few more days or a few more weeks or just scrap the plan entirely. It's okay if it's not going to serve you well, but more importantly, serve your customers and clients well. At the end of the day, let us make sure we're doing things that are in our business plan and in the best interest of our clients and customers so that we can build the know, like, and trust factor. Because we're trying to move people from not just knowing about us, but really liking us and then trusting us so that we're their constant, repeated place they come back time and time and time again. I hope you have found value in this podcast. Hey, do me a favor. If you are interested in our workshops that are coming up, we have 10 of them coming out in 2023. Each month we will have a workshop that has a different topic that we will be doing deep dives. Head over to legacy-boss.com and register there. We will have limited seating for each one of those workshops, as well as, since I spilt the beans about the social creative, head over to legacy-boss.com and check out the social creative that is going to be coming soon for you to sign up for this monthly membership that is going to literally change the way that you do your social media. Once you sign up on our Contact Us form, we will be sending out emails as soon as it launches. Can't wait to see you back here next time for another episode of the Legacy Boss Podcast. See you next time, friends. Bye.